I still remember the exact second my own mother tried to sell me the lie that I was the one being given charity. It was a Tuesday night, the dining room light burning too bright, turning every shadow on her face into something sharp and accusing. She sat there in her pressed blouse, hands folded like she was chairing a board meeting instead of ruining her son's life over roasted chicken. And when she slid that legal pad across the table, $4,000 a month in thick, underlined marker, I didn't yell. I didn't cry. I just looked at her and said, very quietly, okay. Then I moved out that weekend. What she still doesn't know, what she'll probably never fully understand, is that for the last 5 years, I wasn't her tenant. I was her secret mortgage payer. My name is Lucas now. Not the name she still uses when she wants to sound formal. Just Lucas. The boy she used to call the easy one finally stopped being easy. Let me take you back to how it started feeling normal. Growing up, our house in Sacramento was always too quiet when it should have been loud with love. My younger brother, Caleb, got the spotlight, the tears, the celebrations, the new car at 16 even after he wrapped it around a tree. I got the lecture about responsibility and a pat on the back for not needing much. Mom would smile at neighbors and say, Lucas is so independent. He never asks for anything. It sounded like praise. It was permission to forget I existed unless I was useful. When Dad passed, the cracks showed. She didn't grieve out loud. She armored up. The mortgage payments started slipping. Property taxes climbed. The house she'd always lorded over us became her cage. She never asked for help, she just began dropping problems at my feet like I was the family handyman. Lucas, the plumber quoted $3,000, can you handle it? Lucas, these insurance forms are impossible, can you look? Lucas, they sent a default notice. I don't want Caleb to worry. I didn't hand her checks, she would have torn them up and called it pride. Instead, I did what I do best, I built a system. I set up a clean, legitimate third-party mortgage servicing company using one of my business entities, the same one I used to pay overseas suppliers for the import business I grew from nothing. I had her sign a one-page authorization form so my company could make the payments directly. She barely skimmed it. She never read anything she felt entitled to. For 5 years, 60 straight months, my company wired her full mortgage payment. Every single month. The bank never called again. She stayed in the house she loved to control. And because I lived in the downstairs unit paying her $800, laughably below market, she got to tell everyone she was helping her son. She told the story so well she started believing it. I kept paying because part of me still believed I owed her. Because she gave me life. Because family is supposed to mean something even when it hurts. I told myself it was temporary. I told myself I could handle it. Then came the night she decided $800 was no longer generous enough. She served dinner on the good plates. The ones with gold rims she only used when she wanted to remind you of hierarchy. The chicken tasted like cardboard. She smiled that careful, rehearsed smile and said, Lucas, we need to talk about your rent. Market rate now. $4,000 starting March. I set my fork down. The clink sounded like a gunshot in the silence. $4,000. I asked, voice flat. Market rate, she repeated, patient, like I was slow. You've had quite the deal. It's time to contribute like an adult. Contribute. The word landed like a slap I'd been waiting for my whole life. I looked at her, really looked. At the woman who'd spent decades measuring love in dollars and gratitude. At the woman who'd cried over Caleb's fender bender but told me to grow up when I needed help. At the woman who'd lived in a house I quietly kept from foreclosure while she told herself she was the provider. I didn't argue. I didn't beg. I just nodded once. Okay. Her eyebrows lifted 0.5 millimeter, surprise disguised as approval. Good, she said. I'll have the new lease ready tomorrow. I finished the meal. I washed my plate. I thanked her like a polite stranger. Then I drove back to the little unit underneath her kingdom and started packing. By Saturday night, the keys were on her kitchen counter in an envelope with one line. Thanks. I'm out. She called the next morning at 8:12 while I carried the last box into a bare, clean apartment across town. No history in the walls. No ghosts in the floorboards. I let it ring. Texts followed. Where are you? You left your keys. What is this about? We need to talk. Then the photo of my envelope with her caption. Really, Lucas? After everything I've done for you. That line. Always that line. It means, after everything you've taken from me and dared to call love. I didn't answer. By Monday she'd escalated, sent a formal email with a PDF lease agreement. Tenant name, Lucas James Harlan. She'd never called me Lucas James in her life. Only when she wanted to sound official. Like she was putting on a costume to teach me a lesson. She wrote, if you still want the unit, sign by Friday. Otherwise I'll list it. Market rate is market rate. I can't let you take advantage of me. Take advantage. The irony burned so clean it almost felt holy. The family group chat exploded the way it always does when she writes the script first. Caleb, bro, what's going on? Mom said you just left her. Aunt Karen, your mom is heartbroken. You know how much she worries. Even my cousin who only texts when he needs cash, everything okay? They weren't worried about me. They were worried about the story she'd already sold them. She posted on Facebook midweek. A photo of her front porch, morning light soft and golden. Caption. New season, new beginnings. Sometimes even family has to learn boundaries. Hearts. Prayers. Stay strong, Queen. No one asked my side. No one ever does. I watched it all from my new quiet place and felt something finally break open, not anger, not sadness, just clarity. She still has no idea. She still thinks the bank magically stopped threatening foreclosure. She still thinks she's been carrying the house on her own strength. She still thinks I'm the one who owes her. And I could tell her. I could forward the 5 years of payment records. I could show her the authorization she signed without reading. I could drop the truth like a grenade and watch her world rearrange. But I won't. Because the moment I walked out that door, I stopped being the easy one. I stopped fueling her version of love. I kept her house standing for 5 years. I kept her pride intact. I kept her lie alive. And when she tried to charge me $4,000 for the privilege of staying in the shadow of her control,